It's known as America's wildest classroom. And getting to the Taylor Ranch Wilderness Research Station just may be the longest walk to school in the country. For the dozen students in University of Idaho's Semester in the Wild, getting to class means a 4-day, 30-mile hike into the Frank Church Wilderness. A hike that includes rattlesnakes, bears, a sudden storm, and some nasty blisters.
This hike just wasn't agreeing with my feet, apparently. It's a lot of hard work to get out here, and it's definitely physically taxing to be out here and be on your feet all day, but it's worth it 100%. Don't regret it at all.
It's hard to not have a good time when you're hiking down a beautiful canyon and seeing things for the first time. We saw a black bear. It jumped up at 15 yards, crossed the stream, and then worked up the canyon wall over a bunch of deadfall, and the whole class got to observe it. We saw a bunch of Chinook salmon, super unique opportunity.
I envisioned it to be harder than it was. I had some balancing issues, but my classmates and my TAs and my professors were always there to help me or take some of the load when it got too difficult for me. For my first time backpacking, it was a really good experience.
The hike along Big Creek also serves as a multiple-day ecology class.
Water started kind of working on one particular spot.
We start upstream about 30 miles in Edwardsburg and talk a little bit about high elevation lakes, beavers in systems. We start talking about the Chinook salmon that the students see up there. And then the 4-day hike downstream allows them the opportunity to see a smallish river turn into a much larger river, and all the physical and biological changes that occurred in that process. They get an incredible learning experience. You're spending 3 months with folks in very close living situations under some good times and some challenging times, and everybody goes through it. It's remote, and so everybody's being challenged in their own way and learning from it, growing from it.
Yes, this is a semester-long adventure in the largest wilderness in the lower 48, but it's still work. The students cook the food and clean the kitchen and take classes in environmental history and writing, sustainability, wilderness management, and outdoor leadership.
I didn't think it would be this much schoolwork. I'm gonna have to make sure I keep on top of it and not get carried away hiking and other stuff like that. It's still 17 or 18 credits of school, so I gotta make sure I get it done. And that's actually why I decided on University of Idaho, so I would be able to do this program. Seems like a great opportunity to be able to get a full semester's worth of classes and enjoy the great outdoors.
Every time I pulled out my emergency bivvy, I wasn't planning on it.
I wanted to do the semester in the wild because I cannot stand another semester in the classrooms. I wanted it to be outdoors, and when I heard about it at orientation, I knew that was for me.
When I found out U of I has a Semester in the Wild program, I was like, this school, this is where I want to go. Here I'm learning hands-on, I'm applying what I'm being taught, and then there's little tiny lessons along the way. That would be valuable skills to have in a future career. To do survey work, tracking animals or taking plant populations, and one thing I'm going to need to know how to do is camp and backpack in the wilderness area.
So you want to look, 1, 2, 3, 4, behind it, and then just squeeze down on that.
Squeeze down?
Yep.
Okay.
For some of them, it's wanting a change of pace. Many of us, I just, want to hit the reset button and, try something new. I wonder if some of them, it's an opportunity to be bold and to be brave and to step into a setting that they might not normally, but because it's associated with the University of Idaho or the College of Natural Resources, it's familiar to them. And so they think like, well, it'll be okay. So I think it's just hard enough.
Thompson's outdoor leadership instruction includes skills like wilderness rescue and using bear spray. To sharpen those skills, he assigns students to take the lead on a backpacking expedition, crossing the middle fork of the Salmon River into the rugged Bighorn Crags 12 miles away.
What gear do we take with us? How do we take care of each other? How do we look at how we navigate across the landscape and give them the tools and the opportunity to participate in that? I love just getting to know the students and kind of find out who people are a little bit. Like, it's harder to be fake out here. It's harder to put up a front. It's easier to be yourself. And so in some ways, I think that opens great conversations.
One of the things I teach in environmental writing classes is that to be a good writer, you have to apprehend the world like a writer. And that means listening. It means using all 5 senses to really get to know a place, to understand it, to feel what it's like to be there, to be fully present in the moment. And there's really no place like a wilderness where, that happens sort of automatically. So what we've found in the writing classes is that students pick up skills so much faster.
Jen Ladino was among the original professors who launched Semester in the Wild in 2013. She's one of 5 instructors who visit during the semester, flying in and out with the food and supplies from Cascade 70 miles away.
Time moves more slowly at Taylor. We all feel a little bit less rushed, a little bit less pulled in multiple directions. I use a lot of books and very little screen time when possible. So there's a slowness to teaching there that's, I think, really special. It's not uncommon to see bighorn sheep hanging around on the benches, and that is phenomenal, right? And it forces you to be aware of your embodied presence in the landscape, your animality, the relationship that you have to these magical creatures, and there's a kind of wonder there. Just seeing the scale of the place, like it's so large and feeling so small and kind of infinitesimal in the universe. Looking up and seeing the night sky, just so rich and vibrant and bright there. It just feels humbling in the best possible way, especially for college-age students. That can be a healthy thing to sort of actively cultivate. There's something about humility and recognizing one's relationship to the world around you that is really important, and it happens magically and kind of automatically at Taylor.
The students have different goals for their time at Taylor. Aaron Lusignot wants to be a fish and game officer.
Looking through my spotting scope with my professors at sheep, bighorn sheep, I think it's great. It's real laid back, and I also feel like I'm already taking in so much more than I would in a classroom. I feel like I've been able to teach those guys some stuff and just show them that hunters aren't always just out there to kill and stuff like that. It's also for enjoyment and just to sit down and relax and enjoy the animals. It's been nice to show classmates that. I'm enjoying it more. It's bringing us all closer. We got a big 3 months out here, so I think it's great.
Mary Visker came to Taylor for adventure, and she found it on Big Creek.
It was awesome. I haven't caught 15 fish before, and 4 in a row.
Her first 6 casts, she caught 5 fish. She went 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th cast wasn't it. 6th cast nailed a nice. I think it was her first bull trout. It was amazing. It was like, well, at least somebody's doing something, right?
And it didn't make me feel connected to my family. It reminded me of the good memories that I had with my dad teaching me and my siblings.
"78 students have completed the semester-long program in its 11 years. But hundreds of researchers and students from various institutions spend time at Taylor Ranch in any given year. Hydro and solar energy supply the lights and the internet connection for the ranch buildings. They also power the scientific monitors operated by NOAA, NASA, and other agencies. The 65-acre station has a mess hall and cabins for staff and faculty, but most students sleep in tents.
Last night it got pretty cold. It's kind of nice being outside and getting the fresh air in, even if it is a little chilly at times.
It was freezing. I had layers on layers. I think I had 4 layers on last night. I had my thickest pair of socks on, and it was just not enough.
Humans have been learning in the outdoors in this river canyon since time immemorial. The sheep-eater band of the Shoshones lived, fished, and hunted on these rivers and hills until 1879, when the U.S. cavalry battled to remove them. Miners built the first cabin where Big Creek meets Pioneer Creek in 1890, but it was hunter and packer Cougar Dave Lewis who patented the 65-acre homestead in 1924. Dorothy and Jess Taylor bought the ranch for outfitting in 1935 before selling to the University of Idaho in 1969. Today, it's Andrew Armstrong who keeps the place humming and the water pipes from freezing. He also schools students in wilderness homesteading skills, packing with horses, smoking meat, and clearing trails with crosscut saws.
So I live here year-round. This is my home. I've got the cats here. I've got the dog here. You know, we have students in here now, mid-August to mid-November. It's quite busy, actually. In the winter, the only person I see is Walt, who is the pilot for actually the last air mail route in the lower 48. I love the winter here. It's kind of just me and the animals. It's really awesome to see like the elk and the deer and the sheep kind of all grazing together. We get a lot of wolves coming through here. I have a lot of respect for wolves, and I just try to like establish that this is my space. Usually this time of the year there's a bunch of bears that are just kind of living on the ranch. I mean, last year we had like a mother and a cub that just basically lived here and was living in the apple trees. And you know, I don't name the bears, but you know, students, if they want to name the bears, you know, they can do whatever they want. Their names were Marge and Gerald, and they were pretty cute.
Of the many benefits of spending a full semester in the wild, the most meaningful may be the simplest: a chance to reflect and connect in a way that just doesn't happen in the conventional college setting.
I feel like there's so much certainty in the world. If we have a question, we ask Google. If we're lost, we use a map. If we want an answer, if somebody's late, we text somebody. There's just all this instant gratification for knowledge and outcomes. And I feel like out here, that's not part of the deal. And so I like seeing people become more competent and comfortable in managing uncertainty. This place where we are, this is the ultimate instructor.